at 10 unknown football rules. Things that you don't usually encounter in regular football games. And no matter how informed you think you are about football, I'm sure there's a bunch of rules you're gonna hear about for the first time. Let's go. Number 1. If you score a goal but the ball goes flat on the way to the goal doesn't count. The reason for this very unlikely scenario is that the ball must be pumped, or more officially, the ball must be of proper condition at all times. So as soon as the ball is not in proper condition, the game should be stopped. Now, I did find a clip where a player actually scores in the Champions League with a ball that basically explodes midway through the air. And to my knowledge, the goal did actually count. Probably because this is very difficult for the referees to spot. Obviously, the likelihood of the ball ever exploding in your football match is, well, quite flat. But now you know. Number 2. Yellow card for an illegal celebration remains, even if the goal is disallowed. For some reason, football lawmakers felt the need to add this rule for the 2019-20 season. And as the name suggests, if you score a goal, for example, take your shirt off as you celebrate, but a VAR check disallows your goal, well, you're still gonna be booked for an illegal celebration. According to the rule makers, this is because the impact is the same as if the goal was awarded. So don't get angry. If you celebrate illegally, get a yellow card and your goal won't even count. Number 3. You can be sent off before the match even starts. Now, you may or may not have been on the receiving end of a red card in your career. But from now on, just be aware that if you're acting like a complete fool already during warm-up, the ref has every right to dismiss you before the game is even kicked off. You could, for example, say something horribly offensive to the referee or a player from the other team. Or in the case of Patrice Evra, he was dismissed from the game after attacking a fan during warm-up in 2017. Once again, this is a rule most of us don't ever have to worry about, as long as you behave properly before and after kickoff. Number 4. The amount of players allowed to take penalty kicks in the shootout must be equal for both teams. In simple language, this means that if a player from Team A gets sent off during the actual playing time and we go to penalties, Team B then has to exclude one of their players from the shootout as well. This happened, for example, in the 2006 World Cup final between Italy and France. And I'll give you a bit of time to try and guess which player from Team Italy missed the penalty shootout because of this rule. But to run through the whole thing, Zidane was very famously sent off in the 110th minute of the game. And since France had only 10 players on the pitch going into the penalties, Team Italy had to exclude a player from the shootout. Did you guess who it was? Well, the correct answer is Gennaro Gattuso, who finished playing the full 120 minutes but didn't stand with the rest of Team Italy in the center circle during penalties because of this very rule. But I'm pretty sure he's more than happy with the final outcome. Number 5. You could start the game with just 7 players. We all know an official football game consists of 2 teams with 11 players each on the pitch. But before kickoff, if for whatever reason your team was short of players, you could technically start playing with just 7 players, which is the minimum requirement for the game to go on. For the same reason, in the 11-a-side game, your on-field team can get a maximum of 4 red cards. 5th one would stop the game, as you would then have less than 7 players on the pitch. Keep in mind that this rule does not include substitute players. They can get as many red cards as possible. So as long as you have 7 legal players on the pitch, the game can get started and go on. Although it would probably not be a lot of fun to start a game already 4 players down. Number 6. No attacking players closer than 1 meter from the wall. This is another rule that was officially implemented in the game from June 1st, 2019. The rule is that when there's a wall of 3 or more defenders, the attackers are not allowed within 1 meter of the wall when the kick is taken. Otherwise, the team will be penalized with an indirect free kick. According to the rule makers, this new addition was implemented because attackers standing very close to or in the defensive wall at a free kick often cause management problems and waste time. There's no legitimate tactical justification for attackers to be in the wall, and their presence is against the spirit of the game and often damages the image of the game. So from now on, you're unfortunately not allowed within 1 meter of the wall when your team has a free kick. And if you notice your opposing team breaking this rule in your game, you gotta tell the referee to check out this episode. Number 7. You can't score an own goal from a free kick or throw-in. In fact, you can never score an own goal directly with any kind of play that restarts the game, whether it's a free kick, corner kick, goal kick, throw-in, or penalty kick. But if you do play the ball into your own net. Basically, the ball crossed the goal line without anyone else touching it, and since your touch was the last one, a corner kick should be given to the opposing team. So to put it in simple language, if you take a free kick and score an own goal without anyone else touching the ball, as embarrassing as the moment would be, the goal shouldn't count. Again, this is one of those rules that you're most likely never gonna experience unless something insane happens. But regardless, it's a fun one to know. Number 8. The team that wins the toss can now choose to take the kickoff or which goal to attack. This is a quick one as it's pretty straightforward. But in the past, the captain who won the coin toss could only choose which goal to attack, but he can now choose to start the game instead. Now this is another recent addition to the official football rulebook. And while it may not be the most meaningful one, well, now you know it exists. Number 9. In penalty situations, the goalkeeper must not be touching the goalposts, crossbar or nets. They must not be moving. In short, the referee should not signal for the penalty kick to be taken if, for example, the goalkeeper is smacking the crossbar to try and intimidate the penalty taker and the goal starts shaking. Now, I at least don't ever recall seeing the referee delaying the penalty kick because the goalkeeper is moving the goal. But no matter what, it's a rule, and I guess it's mainly the referees who really need to be aware of this one. And speaking of goalkeepers, lastly, number 10. Goalies can hold the ball for a maximum of 6 seconds. Many of us know that after catching the ball, goalkeepers can't obviously hold on to the ball forever. That would be stupid, and the official time is set at 6 seconds. While most of the times this rule is not super heavily enforced, usually it just causes the opposition players to get frustrated. For example, this incident with Mignolet holding on to the ball for way too long resulted in an indirect free kick to the opposition. Still, it's quite rare to see the referee penalizing this action, but now you know about the 6-second rule. And that's it for the 10 quite strange rules you most likely haven't heard of before. Let us know in the comments down below what other strange rules you're aware of, and smash the like button if you enjoyed the episode. And before you leave, you can make us super happy by subscribing to our channel for more videos like this one. And with those words, I'm out.